right. So Thierry, I think starting off with you, considering that all the big hotel brands, your Hiltons, your Novotels, your Bonn Hotel groups are there. ShopRite is already present, and they're currently building another outlet. Has the bus left? Is it too late to enter DRC? What's your view on that?
That's working. Thank you for the question. The question that you asked me, you want to tell me if there's really opportunity for people to invest in the country, if the bus already left. No, I can say that the bus is still at the station, just boarding. Like there's still more opportunity for the DRC for investment. This is my point of view.
Dion, from your side, I mean, you've been going in and out of DRC for over a decade. What is the importance of DRC? I mean, you've had a choice to invest anywhere in the world, and you've gone specifically for DRC. What is the relevance of DRC to the rest of the continent or to the rest of the world from an investment choice perspective?
Patrick, thank you very much. Thierry, thank you. Nice being with you on the stage and everyone here. When I pulled out of Nigeria in 2013 after doing shopping centers in Abuja and were quite involved there, people said to me, you're crazy, it's all happening now. But I would like to do a small demonstration for the people to see how important the DRC is for everyone, if you don't mind. And I know we've just been after lunch, or maybe it's not a bad idea, but if everyone that's got a cell phone or that's got any form of electric vehicle or equipment at home that's got that lithium-ion battery didn't last too long. But that's got any form of lithium-ion battery, like your cell phone, please stand up. I want to show everyone and give a demonstration of how important the Congo is, please. Now, here we go. That's every one of us, maybe one person, the knees are not maybe that good. But the point is, if I ask 30% of the people to sit, thanks, everyone can sit. If I ask 30% of the people to sit, it might have been just a little group over here, and the 70% would be standing. And what I'm trying to explain with this is there's a product in a lithium-ion battery called cobalt. And do yourself a favor, go Google from the World Bank the projection of electric vehicles only. Now that gives you an idea of the importance of cobalt. That's apart from all the other things that the Congo's got, that, like you mentioned earlier, and there's diamonds, there's gold, there's oil, there's gas, there's nickel, there's all these other, I mean, the mines coming in and they're spending $2.6 billion to open up a mine. And I'm actually very glad that it's a fairly small group, because if you just take that into consideration, it keeps the competition out. Please come and have a look and you'll see what's happening on the ground. And if you look at the graphs of Bloomberg, that you'll see that there's a tsunami wave like that, and we're not even at the bottom. That means 3-4 years ago, we very seldomly heard of electric car. Now it's Tesla, it's BMW, it's all of these countries. And 70% of the world's cobalt is coming out of the DRC. There is no replacement. I was at Stanford University in December and sit with some of the professors on cobalt and these things, and I asked them, is there a replacement? And the fact is there is no replacement. So I'm trying to say to you, please come and have a look. Safety-wise, my Chinese customers at Luano City, they're not even allowed to stay over in Johannesburg where we are now for one day. It's too unsafe. But they come to the Congo. You will be pleasantly surprised. Come over the border, Lubumbashi, come and have a look. Wherever you go, I really think, the presence and the importance of the Congo is totally not out there. Because everyone going after the herd mentality, there's nothing wrong with Kenya or Nigeria or wherever. All of these countries are great. But if you really want to do yourself a favor for the long term and be part of that tsunami wave that's busy picking up, and apart from the people, that's great. I mean, I've been on the ground there for 10 years, and a lot of my expats are coming back. I think we'll touch on based on diaspora, etc. it's something to come and have a look at, and you'll appreciate it, and it might be very good for you financially.
Thanks, Dion. So, I mean, you're touching on minerals. Obviously, DRC is known for its copper, its cobalt. It has the majority of precious stones and precious metals that you can find on the periodic table. But Thierry, it has always been the case. These are not new found minerals, right? The minerals have always been there. And all of a sudden, the last 10, 12 months, there seems to be, you know, the flights are fully booked. It takes you 2 to 3 weeks to get accommodation in a good hotel. What has changed? Because the minerals have always been there.
Thank you for the question, Patrick. The mineral has been always there. And at the moment, we keep on finding new things in the country. Sometimes they always say to us that in DRC, all the minerals, the whole world, you find them in the DRC. So whatever the reserve that we have at the moment that you can find in economical books, it's just a scale. I believe there's so much more to come. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, and from a political perspective, so there's a new president that has come in. He hasn't changed a single legislation, and yet there's a lot of investor confidence that has gone into the country. Can you take us through that a bit?
All right. Okay, before I answer that question, I just want to give you a small illustration. You know, when you have a mall, if the mall is not running properly, and you just change a new management, then you have a board on the entrance and says, there's a new management. What people want to do, they want to come and check what really changed. So for our country as well, we understand that the country was so much far from other countries, like on a political case, but now there's a new president. So people want to come and see what they wanted to do before that was actually stopping them to invest. So the new president has changed just a little bit of legislation, but it has opened up more on investors to come into the country and invest. So there's more opportunity for investors than before.
Dion, is that something that you've noticed as well with your scheme? I mean, your scheme is quite large, and you're looking at residential, you've got commercial, you have industrial, and a potential shopping center coming in as well. Have you seen any change since the new president has come in? Has there been a greater demand, or is it still people dipping their toes to see what's happening on the ground?
Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, we've seen a lot of changes. I mean, on legislation side, obviously the national minister was only appointed about 3-4 weeks ago. So things will start changing now, and it will change a lot quicker. But on the plains, we've had in the last 3-4 years very little to no Americans coming to Luanda City. We've got bed and breakfast as well. Very few of them staying there. Now we have a lot. I mean, we've got European people. We've sold some land to Flemish people. That's very big in the machine business. Volvo just moved to us. So we've seen a lot more people, and the head of real estate for Volvo coming out that way from SNTP comes from Switzerland. You know, it's a lot more, and these guys don't wait for the government. They've now convinced that the government has changed. But the cobalt prices is there, the copper is there, the people is there, the education opportunities, the agricultural opportunities is there. So the people are coming. They were waiting for a very long time for the election to happen. And now that it's over, the people are coming, and definitely business is moving forward.
Yeah. I think something that's interesting to notice as well is the services GDP is actually a bit higher now than the mining GDP, which is interesting to notice, which means then that if there's a reduction in the copper and cobalt prices, there's still other industries that may be able to hold up the economy. Now, Thierry, from a diaspora perspective, there's obviously a lot of initiative from the president calling Congolese guys, qualified personnel to go back into the DRC, and he has facilitated their entries there. What change is the diaspora influx bringing back to the DRC?
Thank you so much, Patrick, for the question. The new president in power, when he got elected, the first thing that he asked is, when he was traveling to fund for economic money investment in the country, he was trying to speak to the diaspora. He even came here in South Africa and speak to all of us. He opened up doors. He said, if you have an investment, you have a project, please come. Let's help for the country to grow. Then as for my own speaking, I can tell you this. I've been living in South Africa, traveling around Africa, investing here and there, but not in my country. So imagine now there's an opportunity for me to do it in my country. Why should I not go? Then I would love to have, when I go to the shower, I can open hot water to come, not only cold water as used to be before. So you can say diaspora are really going back, and we believe it's going to happen very soon. Very quickly, people are going. Even friends of mine, some, they already start going back. As you can see, my friend John said, none of the guys now, they live in South Africa, they have to live in Luano City. The same thing with us. Before, we used to, like we travel 3 days in Congo, we come back. 3 days in Congo, we come back. You understand, on cost perspective, it was costing a lot. But now, there's an opportunity for us to stay in a country and bring what we found where we are living.
Yeah. Thank you. Just one more question for Dion before we open to Q&A. Or do we have? Okay. So somebody asked, do you have to take Ebola shots before going to DRC as a non-DRC born individual?
Okay, thanks, Patrick. I'll come back to that, but I just want to say something on the diaspora, because you guys can't say it because it sounds like you pushing yourself up. There's many people in my team and in the Congo that's refined like these two gentlemen, that's worked international, that's coming back into the Congo. And that should tell investors that these people are serious about it. They're well educated, they can go to London, New York, etc., and they're coming back. And we need more people like yourself, and thank you guys for that. Then on the point of, if you look at a map, and please take Google Earth and pull a line from where Ebola is to Lubumbashi, it's a couple of 1,000 kilometers from there. So guys, Congo is so humongous and so big, and for an Ebola person to get from the Ebola area down to Lubumbashi, they have to cross the second biggest forest in the world. It's not possible. We've had good investors being stopped by the countries not to come to the Congo because they're coming to Lubumbashi to the agricultural or mining fair. The chances of them getting Ebola in New York is probably better than getting it in Lubumbashi.
Thanks, Dion. I've just been advised that there is no time for questions as we're trying to catch up on time lost from early morning. But we are available for additional questions and comments after the sessions. I would like to thank Thierry and Dion for your time here, and thanks to yourselves as well for listening. And I think in general, the sentiment is that DRC is open for business. It's a matter of finding the right partners and doing your homework before going in. Thank you.
Thank you very much.